as an indie wrestler, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, myself, I was very much looking forward to the Iron Claw because I already know all about the Von Erich stuff. I've seen the triumphs and tragedy of world class wrestling that WWE put out there. I've seen the other one that was actually a little bit better that came out before that, even though I can't remember the name of it. I know the history of the Von Erichs, David, you know, Lance Von Erich, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, Dave Von Erich, Kerry Von Erich, Kerry, the Texas Tornado, all that stuff. But this movie came out from Lionsgate, A24. The trailer looked great, and I know I've seen people that don't even like wrestling at all say this is a great movie. I personally wanted to like it, but maybe my knowledge of like the actual events is what kind of prohibited me from loving it. If you don't know what we're talking about here, it's about a wrestling family called the Von Erichs in Texas, World Class Championship Wrestling. The dad was really hard on them, pushed them. So we're basically watching their upbringing, we're watching their history in the business, and we're also watching all the tragic events that befell upon them as things went along till ultimately the company was sold and all that good stuff. A little bit of miscasting here. I think that Zac Efron looked more like Carrie than he does Kevin, but and Kevin or Carrie, the one that plays Carrie, is a little bit short, a little bit small. David, pretty good portrayal of David there. The acting's fine, although Zac Efron, I ain't gonna say he did a bad performance because he plays Kevin Von Erich to the T of how Kevin Von Erich actually is. So Kevin never was an exciting individual. One of the things about this though is they kind of rush things together. They also cut out a little brother entirely, which is a little bit weird. But I mean, if you're going to go all in on how depressing this movie is, why not just go ahead and add in that other family member? One of the problems I had, and this is not somewhat spoiler territory, I guess, but when Carrie finally reaches a big accomplishment, they kind of make it look like he went out that night and got into a motorcycle accident and had what happened to him. When in reality, I'm pretty sure it was much after he actually had accomplished what he had there. But I understand you got to squeeze things together for time constraints. Things are never going to be 100% perfect or accurate, but still, the wrestling portions of it was probably the most fun of the movie. Um, Everything with just Kevin and his girlfriend that he finds kind of dull. The dad's a great performance. Right? Whoever played Fritz Von Erich is a great performance. Whoever played Ric Flair should probably be tarred and feathered and dragged to the street because that is the worst portrayal of Ric Flair you're ever going to see in a world full of Ric Flair impersonators. They somehow managed to find the guy that sounded nothing like Ric Flair to play Ric Flair. But The Iron Claw, it's a solid movie. It's put together well, but it still just kind of falls short of what I think it wanted to do. And because of that, I'm giving it a 2.5 out of 5. There is your features. Brotherhood is Forever, The Making Iron Claw, Cast Q&A, theatrical trailer. There is Zac Efron as Kevin. There's the family. There's the world class set. So I mean, it's accurate in some ways, and it's kind of not accurate in some other ways. So it's kind of a mixed bag. But to me, I felt like the movie just had no real spark to it, if that makes sense. There, that is. So good cover. I mean, like I said, Zac Efron, he does what he does, and he did it to the best he could do it. I guess that's already been redeemed, by the way. If y'all people want to pause that video and try to steal that, but this is it's a well made look at a very, interesting family in the wrestling business. A very kind of almost Greek tragedy style family in the wrestling business. And I'd like to see more movies about stuff, maybe a Hart family movie. But hopefully, if they do that, they do stuff a little bit more accurate in some regard than they did here. This one, it was the President had good music. Um, look, the world class setting looked like world class. The Freebirds looked like the Freebirds, and Harley Race looked like a very old Harley Race when he wasn't supposed to be that old. But that's just nitpicking. Either way, the Iron Claw 2.5 out of 5. Not a bad movie, but not the best movie.